Okay, let me know. Cut. Hi friends. So today I'm going to be talking about how to recycle textiles and other things that don't typically get recycled in your city curbside pickup. So I have a couple ideas for you. Some of them you may have heard, some of them maybe you haven't, and then I would love if you also could share any of your ideas in the comments and we can kind of get this conversation going. Because I'm always learning new things. It's always awesome to learn from each other, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, your ideas, any other things that you all do within your home. First thing that I'm going to talk about is the 4 Days. That's the name of the brand. They do textile recycling, and I'll show you my bag. Sorry. Okay, so I'll show you my bag. It's like very full right now. It's pretty packed. I don't know if I'm gonna actually do all of these textiles. It might be a little too heavy, but I wanted to make sure it's full before I send it. The way that 4 Days works is you pay $20 to get a bag that is sent over to you. And then you fill up your bag with any textiles that essentially, you want to be recycled. They're pretty worn down. They can't be reused in any way. And you send, they send you the bag, and then you fill up your bag, send it over, and then that $20 that you paid is a credit that goes toward you being able to purchase something within their store online. They have their own brand, and then I believe they have other eco-friendly type brands that you can also purchase from, which is super cool. I love their, I love this program. I've used it a couple of times so far. It's really helpful. Especially if, again, you don't have that type of textile recycling near you within your community. I'm still learning some of the ones within our community here in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm sure there's a bunch, but because I've used them before and it's more accessible to more people, I wanted to share this brand with you all. Okay, let me know. Let me know if you all have tried this brand or have done this type of recycling from another company. The next brand that I want to talk to you all about is Nikki. An amazing brand. You can essentially recycle your undergarments, which includes underwear, socks, and I think they also do bras as well. And essentially you fill out the form online, and then you get a percentage off your next purchase with them, which is, again, amazing. I love their underwear. I think it's super comfortable and it's organic cotton. Discovered the brand through the recycling program because I really wanted a way to be able to recycle undergarments, in an eco-friendly way. So yeah, I was super happy when I found them, and then it was a win-win because I also really loved their product. So I'm using just like an old box that we have, and they send you a shipping label to print out. You print it out, and you can use any type of box that you currently have and put in your undergarments and ship it over. And then once they receive it and process it, like I said, you get that 15% off, I believe, your next purchase, which is super cool. Next idea, a great way to recycle old blankets is shelters. Dog shelters, animal shelters, you call them and see if they have a need for it, and then this can still have more life to it and animals at the shelter can use these blankets, and they're still getting reused in some way. Amazing brand on the West Coast is called Ridwell. There's another brand, I believe, on the East Coast that I saw that was also doing something like this. So definitely check out in your area to see if you have anything like this. I know this is, a very specific one to your area, so you kind of have to just check and see if they have it. And a lot of the times these companies want to service in your area. They just need support from y'all. So if there is a need, they will come to you. So just getting the community together, signing up, asking for them to come to your area, that's like a great way to have some of these brands, these companies expand further out. Definitely reach out and see if anything is like that out there in your community. And if not, try to reach out to the brands and see if they'll come to you. But Ridwell is an amazing brand. I just re-signed up with them after moving here, and basically they have a set of core categories that you can recycle those items with every pickup. Okay, their core categories are plastic film, which is amazing, threads, batteries, and light bulbs. And then their special pickup category for this next time around are cords, chargers, and printer cartridges. You can also recycle styrofoam for a cost. They charge you, I believe it's $9 for that. It is kind of hard to figure out what to do with certain items and how to recycle them properly, and then it feels like you're just hoarding all of these things to then, hopefully figure out how to recycle in the future. So, Ridwell is amazing because they tend to pick up things in those special categories that I'm like, how am I supposed to recycle these? I have no idea. I have to do some research on it. So they make that a little bit easier, and if you don't have a Ridwell or something similar in your community, I totally understand. It can be really challenging to figure out how to properly recycle them. And it does take a bit of effort to, go online and just find some place that you can recycle some of these items. I totally understand. But if I don't have the space for it mentally or whatever that might be at that time, I put it aside in a recycling type of bin that I am, I'm going to figure it out. I want to recycle it properly, and that's kind of how I get around to that eventually. And yeah, a lot of it is just trying to research and figure out where you can go to take some of those items of e-waste type stores, or a lot of stores that take back electronics that no longer work. They, reuse some of those materials that you provide them from old phones or laptops, things like that. So check within your community, see if there's stores that take those items. I think a lot of those materials are actually very valuable and expensive. So a lot of places do really want those materials. So if you can recycle it with them, they will reuse some of those items, which is valuable to them. And, it gets a second life when you're not using it. Last thing that's technically it's a little extra bonus one. There are other stores that also recycle textiles and items. I believe Madewell does something where you can recycle jeans with them, get a percentage off your purchase. I have seen also sneaker stores also take old sneakers and recycle that material to make other sneakers. It's like Adidas, Nike. I think they do something similar to that. There's other companies also that do sneaker recycling. There's this company called Sneaker Impact that does recycling. And I believe there's another company that I've heard of that you can donate gently used sneakers or shoes and then they provide it to someone or a family in need. I think what they're doing is amazing. Provide somebody else with gently used shoes that maybe you're not utilizing anymore. One other company that is doing really amazing things is TerraCycle. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of TerraCycle. They have a lot of partnerships with other brands to recycle some of your old items, things like that. And then they also allow you to purchase, various recycling type of boxes, and then they take what you provide them and they reuse them, recycle them in a way where they can make things like city benches or things like that. So TerraCycle is an awesome company that's doing really cool things. Their recycling boxes are, can be a little bit more on the pricier side depending on what they are. They do have some free programs though, so definitely go and check those out. And I know that a lot of bigger, maybe bigger stores, department type stores have TerraCycle within them. I believe like Nordstrom Rack has their beauty type of recycling box, which you can recycle some of your old cosmetics. Free for you to use. You just go to that location and recycle it, and then you're good to go. So mention this chart. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the 5 R's, and the first layer is refusing. So refusing free items like free pens when you have a bajillion already at home. Just refusing all of the stuff that you think you might want in the future, that you get for free, or that you just your friends maybe give you, but you don't actually have a purpose for it, or it's not going to be functional in your household. It's okay to refuse some of those items because they're going to come into your home, they're going to create extra clutter, and then eventually you're going to have to figure out a way to properly recycle them because they're not being used, or donating them. But a lot of the time, some of those donation centers don't always take some of those items. Second layer is reducing. So not having as many things and not needing to have as many things. I think especially in our society, it's pretty common to have excess of everything. So I think just kind of shifting your mindset into, not necessarily thinking I need to have 10 pairs of jeans when, maybe 1 or 2 suffices, and I can utilize those in a way where I'm actually wearing them, but I don't have an excess amount that's just sitting in my closet. Next category from this upside down pyramid that you'll see is reuse or repair. So that's always super important. If you can reuse or repair an item, that's, you definitely want to try to do that before the next category is recycling. So always try to reuse or repair, try to fix anything that you can so you're not just buying new. I think again, with this society, it's easy to just get rid of something and then buy new without repairing, because a lot of the time, repairing costs more than the item itself. And hopefully that mindset shift can happen, where we're kind of going back to maybe what our grandparents had, which was more of this repair mentality. I've been seeing, at least in my community, there's a lot of repair type of events where people who are really good at repairing things, like maybe they're really good with electronics, things like that, they'll come, to this community event, and you can bring some of your items that maybe just need a repair and you just don't really know how to fix it. And they'll go in and, maybe have certain parts or fix it in a way, which is awesome. I think it's super cool that people are coming out to the community to repair things together and to kind of make use of that R in the chart. So that's amazing. See if your community does that. I just started seeing some of that again in this community, but it's something to maybe seek out if you haven't already. And then again, the next one I've already talked a lot about is recycling. Making sure things are recycled properly when you are wanting to move on from an item. Again, that's super important. We don't want things to just go to the landfill if we can find places that take the items and then reuse them in different ways. So that's amazing. And then the last R is rot, which is essentially throw out, compost, or it goes to the landfill. That's like the last. That's the last one. So just wanted to mention that chart. I try to go by this as much as possible. We're human. We're gonna make mistakes. Sometimes it's gonna be hard to figure out what to do with some of the items, and we're all in this together, so we're all figuring it out, and nobody's perfect. So just do your best, and your part does make a difference. So if we could all do a little bit every day, I think it would be huge. Those are some of the ways that I try to recycle items that aren't in your city pickup. Let me know again in the comments if you all have any other ideas, any other companies or brands that are doing really cool recycling, eco-friendly type of things. I love hearing what everyone else is doing as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye.
It's getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the